wasn't quite sure what I wanted to film this week, so I decided to be in the plant room. What's new developments? There were spider mites on the passion fruit, so I sprayed diatomaceous earth on this stuff. Hopefully it gets rid of them. What else? I thought the really humid liking monstera here was dying because its leaves were yellowing, but it's actually putting out a new leaf, so I just stepped up the fertilizer and it seems to be doing better. I do need to go through and prune some stuff because it looks a little bad. I did take off a couple leaves this morning if I was already going to the dump to drop off some stuff. Ooh, that monstera doesn't look good. It's not Pinnata partita. It's the other one. I already forget. Anyway, it's been trying to drop its leaves for a while now, especially when it was down in the kitchen. So I'm not surprised by the leaves being yellow here, but I do hope it starts a new growth point soon. But that's stuff from mites. So that's why I sprayed the diatomaceous earth. I really hope they all get better. I hate spider mites so much. I didn't think I had any, but now they're striking with a vengeance. This is a sweet potato. It's light yellow green. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. I moved it inside because it's the only one that even had decent starts of sweet potatoes while it was outside. So maybe it'll grow me some more in this pot. We'll see. What else is new? The orchid here that came with a dying leaf, it already dropped one leaf. That other one's definitely gonna come off. The yellow one's probably working on dying too. I hope the whole plant survives, unlike what they sent me with this thing, the rotting one that I think is good and dead, but I'm still trying to have hope. Give it some air circulation. What else is going on in here? It rained yesterday, so I actually went to go put out 3 of those pawpaw trees that had sprouted this year that already dropped leaves. Two of them still have green leaves on my porch, so I'm gonna save to plant them out until they're done too, which is kind of good because my back is still kind of bad too, so not too much work. I put out the Jack in the Pulpit bulbs around them too, and I also repotted those ostrich ferns yesterday. Oh, and I chucked those couple pounds of wildflower seeds at the yard at the wildflower patches. I'll show you through the window. So here's the second batch of cabbages. I don't know why they look kind of bad because I have them under, well, I think it's because I started them over there where the light isn't as intense, so now that I have them in a little bit more intense light, maybe they'll be doing better. Only 3 of those 4 white dandelions that I planted sprung up, but you know what? I'm not even going to plant another one. 3 dandelions is enough. I think I'm going to have to keep them inside this winter or something. Wait for an opportunity where it warms up for a week in like January or February and put them outside and hope that they don't die if I leave them outside to freeze for a month or 2 for dormancy, and then spring will come around and hopefully that's enough for them. My best Nepenthes seedlings, this thing is definitely dying. I don't know how to help it. I had it down there on that bottom shelf and it looked even worse, so I put it back up here. I think it was here. I don't think it was on this shelf. We'll see. I guess it's pretty much a goner anyway. Sabayensis by Trismatiensis actually likes this position better, so while some of the plants here look worse, this one definitely looks better, which is nice. It's a really nice plant. And I hope she blooms too soon so I can make even more seeds. The Peter Diamato looks great. Look at these nice pictures. I put the cucumber over here so I can try to climb the other plants and the racks. It has some tendrils in here. Maybe I should, oh, it was clinging. Put it back, put it back. There we go. That'll tiny tendril right there. So the cucumber can climb. This one too. I think this one might be one of the orange ones. I don't know. This one is definitely one of the yellow ones. Here's my spicy greens mix, and then basil and tennis ball lettuce. And oh, I guess I did plant more than just purple basil. Okay, that makes sense. It's probably like lemon basil or something. Here's some peppers. Tomatillos are looking better because they were looking like this for a while. These ones I had to re-put in the dirt a little deeper because somehow the roots were completely sticking out. I don't know if I don't plant these seeds deep enough or what. Here's the other peppers. This is moringa. I tried to not have a pole, but it keeps bending over. I don't know why it's so soft. I got this fan so that I could blow some wind on these plants so that they're a little bit sturdier, even though, you know, really tender lettuce is okay, but fine. What else? Elephant ears are growing back. I guess they're really sensitive to change. I'm glad this begonia is kind of taken off now. Ooh, I guess this guy is leaning pretty hard. Maybe I should fix that. Maybe it was always like that. Oh well, I'll leave it if it's working. So there's the garden. Do you see over there where there's some orange string? Where's my finger? We always play the where's my finger game. I put some orange string on the left side of my finger there. So I chucked wildflower seed all along the neighbor's fence there to make a even bigger wildflower blob. And then I threw seeds all over the blobs that are already there and a little bit under the neighbor's big tree right there. So a little bit more there because if flowers can take root, I'm happy. So I didn't do too much else in the garden this week. I did pull up a couple of half-dried, half-rotting pumpkin vines that kept wrapping themselves around my boots the last time that I walked through. So I threw it in one of the composters again. Two of them kind of have fresh donations in them right now, so they're not really ready to go out in the garden. I hate that they're black in the middle of summer because it's too hot for earthworms in there, but I'm glad that they're black in the wintertime so that the sun will heat it up and it'll help rot it better. A lot of the stuff in them is dried though, or at least the one that I haven't been adding to the most, it looks like a lot of dried stuff in there didn't really rot down, so the next time I take my compost bucket out, I'll need to add it into there to try to get more rotting to happen. So the pawpaws went all the way on the side here where it's kind of shady because when they're fresh new trees, they don't want direct sunshine. They'll scorch and die. So great. And I also went through, I don't know if you can see any of them from here. I went through and I wrapped that orange twine that I use everywhere around some seedlings that I found in the yard that I want to move, specifically on the, well, you can't see it, it's right underneath the roof right there. So the patio behind the kitchen outside, so there's lots of little saplings coming up between the pavers there, which is perfect for having a little tree nursery. So it's mostly maples, at least one birch, and a couple of evergreens. I'm assuming it's coming from that neighbor's bank of evergreen sort of trees. So maybe like 10 trees that I put twine around so that when it's the middle of winter and they don't have any leaves, I'll know what is a tree and what I wanted to move. So maybe in the early spring I can go move them to the end of the yard. I know I was saving a space, where's my finger again? Right there, leading up from the septic, so that eventually when I have to change over, I don't have to like hire tree cutting people and excavate through roots and stuff in order to connect up to the septic that's right behind my fence there. But given the fact that they're shoving 18 houses in there and it'll be a solid wall of housing, I definitely want a nice wall of trees between me and them. The sky looks pretty bad. It's kind of cold misting out there right now. I'm glad I ran my errands before it really started coming out of the sky. It sprinkled a little, but it wasn't this bad. So I think I'm gonna make a little copse of trees behind the garden because it's set a little bit forward from that wildflower horseshoe. So I think I'm gonna have a little tiny grove there, and then maybe a little bit of a more intense planting of trees where that little pecan of mine is with the red leaves, going over to where the gate is. Maybe a row of 1 trees or something, but this one over here I might have them like 2 deep, and maybe move some of these shrubs to over there too. I don't know. They're kind of big. I don't know if I should move them or try to move them. We'll see. I do have those rose bushes that I started, so maybe I'll just, you know, have a row of roses around the trees or something. I'm not sure how I'd work it out. I'll have to think about canopy size versus how much light the roses would actually get. So yeah, planting that stuff out and then chucking the seeds around only took like an hour or 2, which wasn't that bad. So I'm glad I can move well enough in order to do an hour or 2 of light yard work. What else? That might be it. Yeah. It's kind of dark and ugly out, so every single day I'm glad that I got all of these lights for the plants. Hopefully that passion fruit vine is taking over. You can see it popping out everywhere, so hopefully it gives me some fruit soon. It doesn't need to be like 50 feet long in order to do so. It's supposed to be one of those giant passion fruits because it's quadriangularis. I think I'm not going to move that compost out, the one that I'm working on rotting down right now, until maybe a month from now, to give it a chance to rot better and give myself a break from spreading compost and stuff around the garden again. Maybe in like a month I'll go spread that compost around and then clean up the garden a little bit more because there's still more tomatoes to clean up. And then plant these guys out because based on they're a month behind the other ones from when I planted them. Hopefully in a month they'll be as big as the ones that I just planted out, and then I can plant them out. And it is milder here than where most of these cabbages were, I guess, bred, the kind of cabbage that it is. And hopefully it's a really mild winter again here, maybe a couple of cold snaps, hopefully. But if it's mild winter here again, then I should have cabbages in like February or March, hopefully, based on when I planted these. Okay, enough of my rambling for the week. Bye till next week.